Well, things are heating up on the auction market, as Kevin Brogan from CoreLogic will tell us in just a moment. Buyers are really starting to boost the market. More on that and an in-depth look at what's ahead for this coming week. Kevin Brogan joins me again in just a moment.
Point your clients in the right direction with our range of directional signage. With a variety of options, we have a pointer board for every situation. Made with quality, durable materials, they're built to withstand our varying weather.
Welcome back to the show, and a special welcome to Kevin Brogan from CoreLogic. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
The double Kevin show. Hey, what a spectacular weekend last weekend. Let's firstly bring up those final clearance numbers. 75.7% out of Sydney and 71% out of Melbourne. Pretty good numbers.
Absolutely. So when we last spoke, Kevin, we did talk about the fact that we had a high collection rate, and we were hoping that the final clearance wouldn't dip too much below the preliminary figures. And indeed, I mean, the final figures are very strong for both capital cities, particularly Sydney. I mean, 75.7% is very strong.
Yeah, Brisbane 37%, Adelaide 46%, Perth 45%. Gee, I tell you what, there's some robust results coming in right around Australia, aren't there? Obviously, buyers are coming back into the market, Kevin.
Yeah, look, I think in particular we're seeing that in Sydney and Melbourne. But I mean, it's interesting you mentioned Perth. That's not a high result, in the scheme of things. But for Perth, that's as high as it's been for a little while. So
yeah.
That and the other issues we've spoken about in some of the regional auctions that you and I have spoken about shows that, beyond Sydney and Melbourne, there are signs of this confidence returning.
Indeed, there is. Let's have a look at the Sydney sub-regions. What do we see there? Northern Beaches, nearly 90%. Oh, well, there's actually a few of them, aren't there? If you look even eastern suburbs, gee, they're good results.
Yeah, absolutely. So the eastern suburbs has again stood the test of the final results coming in. I mean, 87.9%. The eastern suburbs has always performed quite well compared to the rest of the sub-regions, including when the market was softening. But again, the Northern Beaches, as you say, I mean, that is very commonly, at the top end of the league table, so to speak. But, we've actually seen some sustained good performances from sub-regions like Sutherland. It's not a high volume auction market, but we have seen it struggle in softer market conditions. But just recently, Sutherland's sort of been way up near the top of the table for the sub-regions.
Okay, we'll take you to Melbourne now. Boy, you talk about strong results across the board. 87, 73, 72, 84. They're all up there, really.
Oh, look, they are. I mean, we have commented before about how the Melbourne sub-regions are more uniform, but and they have, as you suggested, they have all responded to the increase in confidence. But we've got a couple of standouts there. I mean, the inner south at 84.6%, Mornington Peninsula 80%, low volume, and it has been volatile, but we've seen more often than not a higher result. And the leader of the pack being the outer east. Again, that's not the highest volume area, but again, that's a really strong result from there.
Indeed it is. Well, there are just over 1,000 auctions going up this coming week. That's about 10% down on last week, but there is a good reason for that. And Kevin Brogan will come back in just a moment to tell us why. But before we do, here's James Bell with his auction tip for the week.
Hi, I'm James Bell from the Auction Group. One of the most important things that an agent does during an auction campaign is the final qualification of buyers. When going into a reserve meeting, the information on price from genuine buyers is critical if the seller is going to be in alignment with the market and sell. There is a bit of an art form into working out who is a genuine buyer and who is a neighbour or relative that has come through or onto the radar during the campaign. Neighbours and so forth, they haven't been in the market, they aren't looking at other properties, and they have nothing to compare your property to. Price feedback from non-genuine buyers is unreliable. Auction agents work hard to make sure that moving into a reserve meeting, my sellers have the right information about genuine buyers and where they are positioning their property. Then we find a level that is comfortable. If you are selling your property via auction, it is important that you cut through to the genuine feedback so that you can make an informed decision about your reserve price for auction day. I'm James Bell from propertytv.io.
Thanks for that, James. And Kevin, I mentioned just before we went to James there that just over 1,000 auctions, down a little bit on last week. There's a good reason for that. What is it?
Oh, look, in Sydney, they have a bank holiday on Monday. And certainly some of the people in real estate that I deal with are indicating they're going to take full advantage and have a long weekend. So listings in Sydney down 352. That's down a bit on last weekend.
Melbourne at 460, bit shabby there too, really, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I mean that's down a bit on last week, and we've commented before. You know, we do talk about the confidence coming back on the purchaser side of the market, but on the vendor side, the dominant factor does still seem to be the fact that we're in the traditional slow season, being winter. And I think that is delaying the response of the supply side to improved market conditions.
Fair comment. Well, the truth will be in the results that we will bring you on Monday. Kevin Brogan will join me again then. We'll have a look at the results from the weekend and project as to where we think the market's going. Any tips for this weekend, Kevin? What do you think's going to happen? What's that bottom line number going to be?
Oh, look, I think we're still going to see a fairly strong performance. I mean, I guess the one to watch just in Sydney with now a month of results over 70%. Is, you know, are buyers going to be distracted by the long weekend, or are they going to still turn out in numbers and keep that clearance rate up there above 70?
Yeah, well, anyone who's serious about buying a property, not going to let a public holiday stand in the way. Seriously, are they? I mean, they may want to buy it on Saturday and still go away and have a couple of days anyway. So I guess time will tell, Kevin, and I'll join you on Monday and we will find out for sure. Have a great weekend, my friend.
And to you, Kevin. Speak to you Monday.
I'm Kevin Turner, and don't forget, Real Estate Talk is out tomorrow. Kevin Brogan rejoins me on Monday, and we'll have a look at the final results, or the preliminary results anyway, from this weekend's activities. I'm Kevin Turner. I'll see you next time.